Yeah, I'll take some. Sounds good.
Nice.
If you're a fan of superhero or shonen anime, then you've probably heard of the breakout success that is My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia. So what exactly is My Hero, and is it worth your precious time? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. Is this worth a watch?
That looks
one looks
good.
good.
Oh, I'll take this one.
My Hero breathes new life into the idea of what it means to be a hero. Most everyone in the world of My Hero was born with a metahuman ability called a quirk, which, if you're lucky, can be something super useful for combat and heroism, say the ability to create and control explosions, or you could get the ability to make your fingers grow really big. The usefulness of a person's quirk really comes down to the luck of the draw, and that's if the person is fortunate enough to get one in the first place. As is the case with many great stories, our aspiring hero of a main character, Izuku Midoriya, starts out as an underdog. He is 110% quirkless, well, at least for now, but has admired the amazing heroes his world is full of since he was young. The narrative at its heart really centers around the idea of, like I mentioned before, what it means to be a hero. And if it sounds like that's nothing new and perhaps a little bit cliche, well, that's because it is. This show is definitely putting a new spin on an older concept of a superpowered society, and that applies to both the setting and story, but it's My Hero's damn near flawless execution, and also super interesting characters, but I'll get into that later, that makes it so enticing. That being said, one of my only gripes with the show has to do with its pacing. The first few episodes are solid, but it takes a little more time in the setup stage than I'd like it to. The show really manages to find its sweet spot about a third of the way through when the majority of the characters are introduced. Even before that though, the show is filled to the freaking brim with heart, and can be super emotional and just downright inspiring at times. It honest to God made me tear up more than once during my first viewing. Oh, and as the name would imply, the bulk of this story takes place in a high school setting. This gives My Hero super colorful characters, a great way to build on each other and interact. However, it's a superhero school and the characters are training to become heroes. It's not your typical high school drama. Think of the X-Men, not Smallville.
Hands off, buddy.
Oh, hey.
Characters is really the area where My Hero goes above and beyond in terms of quality. The personality and design of every single character is so unique from the last, and there's something to love about all of the characters in the show that are given screen time. Oh my god, screen time. I think that's really what makes these characters so interesting. Even the ones with only a few minutes in the spotlight leave such a strong impression that you can already get a feel for what the character is like. Each time you see them, you get to know them a little bit more, and every character is so interesting or just downright cool that My Hero can legitimately keep you glued to your screen just waiting to get another taste of a titular side character.
My tummy.
As far as character development is concerned, at this point in the show, My Hero has spent a lot more time showing off its bright cast than giving any of the characters too much depth, disregarding Izuku, who gets a gratuitous amount of solid development. Oh, and I guess that kind of goes for All Might as well. But as long as the producers over at Bones continue to adapt manga as well as they always have, then I can guarantee that plenty of these characters will get developed, and developed well, further down the line of production.
Oh, yes.
Ow!
My Hero manages to do a lot of things well, and the production value is absolutely nothing to scoff at either. When the art shines, man does it shine bright. The colors and style of the show are both super bright and upbeat, and it's pretty much always a pleasure to look at. However, there are a few noticeable shortcuts here and there, usually in a scene without too much going on. When the tone simmers down and things are calm, that's when you can spot some pretty funny looking animation goofs, usually involving proportions or faces. But when there is gravity behind what's happening on screen, when you can feel emotional weight bearing down on you, you can count on the art of My Hero to deliver and deliver well. The shortcuts are few and far between elements such as amazingly animated facial cues, mannerisms, and especially fight scenes.
Deku! Don't you ever forget what you are! You're a weakling!
See what I'm talking about here? And when it comes to the music, this show never misses a beat. In my opinion, My Hero delivers one of, if not the best, anime OSTs of 2016. Each song is as diverse and interesting as the characters are in the show, and the music is used wonderfully. My Hero nails situational use, and each song adds so much to the scenes they are used in. It's one of those soundtracks that you can listen to comfortably in its own right. Most every song stands on its own without needing to rely on layers of visuals, dialogue, and choreography to sound good. Too many shows and movies in the past year have been scored, well, unmemorable. The songs are written in a generic way to fit behind a scene, and that's really the only place they sound good. Generic scores are fine and all, but when each song is as memorable and pleasant to listen to as the last, that's what makes a score great, and My Hero just knocks this out of the park. It's true that My Hero's concept isn't fantastically original, but originality isn't what it's going for. In the first season, Bones has delivered a wonderfully bright and fun show with amazing action sequences and awesome characters. If you're a fan of either Western or Japanese superhero stories, both of which My Hero takes oodles of inspiration from, then I can't imagine you not enjoying My Hero. If you're someone who's looking for an intensely complex, original narrative and you really dislike things that are quote-unquote cheesy or quote-unquote cliche, then there's a pretty good chance you won't like My Hero, but if that's the case, then superhero shonen probably isn't the best genre for you to be looking into anyway. If you're asking me, then I'd definitely say this show is worth a watch. If you've got the time on your hands and you want to be uplifted by the colorful heroes of UA Academy, then I highly suggest you give My Hero Academia a chance. Thanks for watching.